Welcome to Ivy's Flower Garden. Transplanting hostas today, so I am going to tell you guys a little bit about them. I am in zone 6B, and this is day April 3rd, 4th, maybe it's the 4th. And I have this row of hostas here, but you can see how some of them are super close to the sidewalk. And then back here, some of the ones that I've pulled back already, these two, because they grow out and then they cover the sidewalk, and it just makes it really tight walking down the sidewalk. So I'm pulling these halves, and I'll show you how to do that with the shovel. I just wanted to take an extra second to tell you I have two different kinds of hostas here, which is why it looks like there's empty space. But in my zone, I have these. These are variegated because the leaves have white in them. So that's what's called a variegated hosta. And you can see here, this is the non-variegated version that I have. There's lots of different kinds of hostas, but this one is a dark green leaf, and it actually comes up out of the ground as purple. They come up later than the variegated ones. So if you're looking for something that comes up earlier, in zone 6B at least, the variegated ones are going to be your better option. So I'm just cutting these back, and I'll show you as best I can with one hand on the phone and one hand shoveling how to separate them. Just need the roots. It doesn't matter what happens to the top of the plant, and they should come back fine. I'll post an update later in the summer that they'll look okay. All right, let's get the shovel. I have a little shovel because I'm short, and it's really sunny. I hope you guys can see this. I'm gonna just find like kind of a natural line like that, and then I'm just gonna cut through that chunk. Of roots. Okay, that's probably good. I'm about probably 3 or 4 inches down. Pull my shovel back. It comes up in one clump. All right. And then all I do is I take my clump over to the other side, but I'm not going to carry the clump because I only have 2 hands. And dig a hole. I didn't weed this bed yet, but I'll get to it. I'm just pulling this up. It's got a lot of weeds in it, so. All right, I'm gonna leave my dirt there because I probably am gonna need it to fill the hole over here. My clump. So here on the clump, you can see some of them were sheared off, but that's okay because you don't really need the top of the plant. You just need the roots. Got a worm friend. And then I'm gonna sit this in here like this and fill some dirt back around it. For good measure, give a little step. My Nike flip-flops, I love them. All right, here's another situation I ran into. So I got this dug up, and it's huge. See, there's a lot of them, and I want it right here, half. So I'm just gonna try to pull it apart with my hands. I'm gonna need 2 hands, so I'm gonna have to cut the video, but the other thing you can do is take a garden knife, or any kind of knife really, scissors, and cut it. Either way, it doesn't matter. So let me see. I'm just gonna see what you can see. This may or may not work. Okay, so that's all you need to do to make 2 clumps. Okay, so I've just finished up. You can see I've got everything back away from the sidewalk now. Still need to sweep the sidewalk, but that's fine. But out of those, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's 15. I ended up being able to pull off 21. So I went ahead and I did the whole front of this bed. I didn't weed everything out yet. This is kind of my experiment bed. I've been throwing seeds in here, and I don't know what I have and what I don't have coming up, so I didn't want to weed back too much in case little things are starting. I do have this plant, which if anyone knows what that is, I think it's some kind of verbena. It looks like they're going to be orange. If anybody knows what that is, go ahead and comment and let me know, because I don't know what that is. But everything in this garden has been either seeds that have come up on their own. I moved those. I've got one there and one over there. And then it just so happened that there were two on this side as well, so I went ahead and moved them. So they're kind of in the same place. This one's not looking great. It needs some water. I didn't water everything because it's supposed to rain today. So that's important. After you transplant, you always want to water. These are yucca plants back here. I got them from my grandmother when she passed away from her yard. The lilac bush. So this actually I transplanted from those lilacs over there as a little tiny like 4-inch stick maybe 5-6 years ago. So it's doing pretty good. Same with the hostas. The hostas have probably been in for 5 years before I separated. They should have been separated last year. I just didn't get to it. And then the flowers that are next to these hosta are daylilies. So I don't know if you can tell from the beginning, but I had a couple of empty spots. Some had died off. So like these two, I went ahead and transplanted. I have these that come, you know, little pieces that shoot off on their own. So there's actually 2 plants there. I pulled a couple of those. I'll do another video on how to transplant daylilies later. But yeah, so that's all of that now. Finished up. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment if you have any questions. Comment if you know what that flower is. That would be great. All right, happy gardening.